Hi friends, Andy Vegan. It's a beautiful sunny day outside and I'm making ice cream on a fruit salad. Oops, for breakfast, but oops, because I have only one fruit in the fruit salad, and that is, I found these wonderful raspberries. They are so tasty. They're really expensive, and I got a whole bunch and said, okay, that's my breakfast today. Berries are the healthiest fruit we have, and I love the raspberries. And you know, when I have only one fruit, it has to be a very delicious, beautiful fruit, and these raspberries really are. And you know what? When I make a yogurt dressing to coat the raspberries in it, I want to make the raspberries a little bit more delicious, even more exciting. And to do that, I add some lemon zest to my cashew yogurt. So first I show you the cashew yogurt, and I explain later in a moment. So cashew yogurt is what I need to make the dressing, and I make my cashew yogurt myself, but you can also purchase any kind of plain yogurt. It always depends for the dressing if the yogurt is firm or runny or sour or whatever it is. They're all different. Cashew yogurt, I make it myself, and I know pretty well what it is like. That's a good thing when you do yourself. So cashews blended with water, adding some acidophilus bacteria, and overnight they make the yogurt, and then it goes to a fridge, and then you can store it. It gets more and more yogurty. So there's another video under this video, a link, where you can watch how to make it. And the second ingredient here is date mousse. The yogurt is tart. That is because of the fermentation, makes it sour, tart. And the date mousse here is used to make it a little bit less tart. Yeah? And it is wonderful to have yogurt, plain yogurt, with a little bit of sweetener. And date mousse is my favorite sweetener. And I show you also in another video linked under this one how to make date mousse. It's also easy. Blend dates with water, you blend it up, and have a date mousse. It goes in the fridge and lasts for 7 days or so, and then it can turn sour. So before 7 days, I would recommend to use it. It's so wonderful to have this kind of sweetener ready to, we don't need to blend it again. You just process it, whisk a little bit, and you have your dressing. And here is the aforementioned zest of the lemon. Because when I put lemon juice in here, it will be even more sour. And that is not good for the yogurt dressing here. It should not be more sour. That would be a different recipe. But using the lemon zest being the healthiest part of the lemon, and having the lemon flavor. The juice is rather sour, lemon juice. But when you have the zest, it's rather lemony. It's the essence of the lemon. It's very powerful. And the thing is that I wanted to mention, when you have a raspberry, it is so delicious, and you add a tiny little bit of lemon zest, not too much, you get this raspberry flavor even more expressive. When I found it first, I was very surprised. I thought, wow, how interesting. I will work with that a little bit to make a raspberry even more delicious. Because, what can you wish once you have a raspberry? Why would you have anything with it? It's such a wonderful, delightful fruit. But when you add a little bit of lemon zest, it tastes even more like that. Fantastic. That is cooking to me. Cooking is just putting together ingredients and make something more than its parts. And otherwise, why would you put them together? It's not more than the parts. Make more of it, right? And these are the raspberries again. They're so beautiful. I'll just watch them a little bit and clean a little bit. Sometimes there's a little bit of mold in it or so inside here, but it is very easy to get rid of. They have these little cells, and they're separate from each other. When there is a little bit of mold in one, just take it out. It's still okay. Put the raspberries in my yogurt now with the lemon zest, and toss carefully. I don't want to hurt or mash any raspberry. They should be whole. And I have plenty of yogurt here for my raspberries. put them into a glass. And that is the first part, the first 2 parts to be precise, of my breakfast today. And the topping will be a date cashew vanilla ice cream. That is an ice cream have been used for some days now in my summer breakfasts. And this ice cream, I'll show you in a moment how to make it, is a pure comfort food to me. These 3 ingredients, bananas, cashews, and dates together, are pure pleasure, pure delight. To me, it is a really wonderful combination. It's almost warming. If it wouldn't be an ice cream, it's cold, I would say it's warming. But this here is my yogurt with the raspberries and the lemon zest to make it even more raspberry-ish. And now I get the frozen bananas. The ice cream will have 3 ingredients, and here are the frozen bananas, the main part. As one thing I want to mention, when I freeze my bananas, I make sure they're really ripe. Really ripe, that is nice. Because then you have the most perfect texture of the ice cream. When the bananas are not ripe enough, it can be a little bit gooey, the ice cream. It's not the world, but it would be nicer when the ice cream is nice and fluffy and creamy, and that you get with the ripe bananas. In some recipes I need the bananas less ripe. I need more starches, more texture, more something, to make it more like a curd, for example. But in this recipe, they should be ripe. It's always different. And I have the food processor ready with the S-blade. That is the best tool to make Blitz ice cream. The blender here would be too fast and too hot. It would melt too fast. And I need to process a little bit longer to make the scoops without having to go to the freezer first. Again, so the bananas go in. On the bottom. And also, I make sure the bananas are right from the freezer, should be as cold as possible, as your freezer allows. Okay, and because then also I can process a little bit longer and get the really creamy and all the chunks that are processed and so forth. The second ingredient is a trick, another trick. First was the lemon zest. Here is the cashew flour. Cashew flour is here easy to make. I have an electric coffee grinder, makes it in seconds, your own cashew flour. Other nut flours, you can also do that with a coffee grinder. So that goes in, and you can take quite a lot. When you have a brown nut, for example, or almond or so, you can take only a small amount because they make the ice cream gooey again. But the cashews are so perfect, so creamy, you can take a lot, and that makes the perfect creaminess of the ice cream. The third ingredient is, again, date mousse. Again, in the other video, under this video, you can see how to make it. It's very easy, as I said before. It's just blending dates and water. And all of these ingredients have been in the freezer for a while, together with the frozen bananas, because the colder the ingredients are, especially the not frozen ones, the longer I can process. The creamier it gets. So blender dance for Blitz ice cream. Look at this perfect Blitz ice cream. And you can see the creaminess already. And though I had some time to process and to dance, this ice cream is still cold and perfect to make scoops. And meanwhile, I found out how to do that. At first, when I did this a couple of years ago, I was not so sure how I make the perfect ice cream. But after a little time, I have so many tricks now. You see perfect scoops. I just put it on top of my frozen of my yogurt with the raspberries, and will sink into the yogurt and melt into that wonderful tartness, sweetened and highlighted a little bit with lemon zest. And then the raspberries will be in perfect company. You see, the scoops are really nice. I'll show you in a moment, close to the camera. But it is very easy to make this way. I don't need an ice machine here. At first I thought, oh my goodness, making these kind of Blitz ice creams is a little bit boring. But when you begin to add cashew flour and these kind of things, you will see it's really exciting. There's an endless variety. This is my breakfast today. And what could be nicer? Ice cream for breakfast? A healthy ice cream? Just fruit and nuts. It's perfect. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my videos, subscribe. MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day and enjoy the endless vegan variety. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and X. And if you really will, donate. There is a button under this video called Thanks.